Hi everybody, Russ from My Hammers 11. Hope you're all safe and well. Your channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon so you may do everything I put new content on. As always, we'd like to thank our lovely channel sponsors, Untuckit. Check them out in the description below. So we have another ex-Hammer. I think he's probably like a 50th or something ridiculous like that since lockdown. It's Elliott Ward. Hi Elliott, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. As best as can be expected. How's things are you in this crazy world we live in now?
I'm a supply teacher. Well, I say that my wife does a lot of it, and then I kind of creep in and help out. Still training and playing, so that's good. Keeping active. Just not coaching at the minute because we'll coach at Chelmsford Academy, but the school's not back in, so I'm missing that. But trying to keep busy and stay positive.
Yeah. That's all you can do, isn't it? It's all you can do, to be honest, at the moment. But and you know the good news, obviously, for West Ham hat on is West Ham are doing all right at the moment. So I'm quite happy. I don't think I could cope with the pandemic and us having a relegation battle. So it's quite nice.
Well, I'm sure the West Ham fans hope it goes on for a bit longer, just so can stay in the top four. But no, they've been brilliant this year.
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good, and for those of you, because obviously we get lots of different people, different age groups who watch, and obviously the more experienced fans, not even experienced, but obviously Elliott played for us around sort of the early to mid 2000s, and was integral in the 2004-05 promotion season, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I mean, El made 21 appearances, I think, first team appearances for the club, an academy graduate coming through from the youth ranks, so to speak, and yeah, you had some funny characters around that time as well. So it was a good time to play for West Ham. Yeah. We've had a few of them on here as well, so it's quite good. But what we do is we go right at the beginning, El. So in terms of West Ham and starting at West Ham, and obviously going through sort of the youth team a little bit like that. Why West Ham? Was West Ham the only club there available when you joined, or was there others sniffing around?
No, not at all. I was at Watford when I was 12. And I was there for 2 years, but within the 2 years, you got to remember, I'm quite a big lad. So as a kid, I was bigger than everyone, which was obviously a positive for me. But in terms of me and developing, it wasn't going so well in terms of developing at Watford. So I should have been playing a year up at least to help that out. And it didn't happen. And for whatever reason, so my dad was Inspector Clouseau, really. He knew everything that was going on behind the scenes. He knew that I had these clubs after me. I didn't know anything. He told me, he said, we're going to leave because you need to progress.
Yeah.
And I understood. So, I agreed. It was the old Wimbledon. They would have won, Fulham and West Ham. So Fulham and West Ham were the main ones.
Yeah.
So I basically went to train with them. With both teams, enjoyed Fulham, enjoyed West Ham, and come to decision time. Yeah. Now, Fulham had just lost out on signing my older brother, Scott. Yeah. He went to Luton instead, and Fulham offered me a 5-year contract at 14.
Wow.
And West Ham offered me a 2-year scholar. And I chose West Ham. Yeah. So, and the reason I chose it because the coaching was brilliant. So I enjoyed the training more. Feels strange to say, but I felt at home straight away. I was in a new group of lads, but they took me under their wing and into the group very well, and I liked the training more. That was that simple. Paul Heffer was the coach, and he was amazing. So I chose a 2-year scholar over a 5-year deal, which was a guaranteed professional contract. And that was a decision at 14. I made that decision, not my dad, not my mum and dad, sorry. Yeah. My brothers didn't really have too much influence. I chose it as a 14-year-old, knowing what I wanted, really. Luckily, my dad, again, behind the scenes, had agreed that if things went well, then I would get my pro contract
Yeah.
offered within the year or so, and the first year went well. So I knew by the time I left school that my pro contract was there.
Wow.
So that was good. It was, for me, I didn't know it initially, so
Yeah.
it's not like I went in thinking, "Oh, I've done it, I've made it, I've got the
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
I still had to work hard, and within that first year, I was playing in the reserves. And back then, it was a proper reserve team full of first players, experienced players. So at 15, I was already doing that. I was training with the first team on odd occasions. Even then, 15-year-old playing in the under-19s with Tony Carr was quite rare. So I made some good strides in the first year. So yeah, that's how it started, and it went on from there.
Yeah, and it's as you said, yeah, because if it was the other way around and your dad didn't told you that there was a sort of pro contract, it's almost you still had the carrot and the stick, didn't it? You could do it, but he was, that must have been I can imagine. Otherwise, as you said, you could have, if you could have been at Fulham and got a 5-year contract then and you sorted and in terms of progressing, you wouldn't have progressed. Arguably, because you could have, didn't think, I don't know, you know what I mean? But it just seems, and obviously it's a gamble worth taking, in terms of obviously joining West Ham, Tony Carr, and all that malarkey.
Yeah, it was like I said, there was good people there, good coaches. Paul Heffer, Peter Braybrook, Tony Carr.
Yeah.
Above that, Roger Cross,
Roger,
obviously at that time, and then Harry and Frank in charge. So throughout the club, there was some big names, and
there's all got good football names, weren't it? All big football names and stuff for your development. And as you said, being 15-year-old, occasionally getting the call up into training with the first team with that team as it was at the time. It was a bit of a it was a bit of a golden period really for West Ham. That was that must have been, as as a 15-year-old, you're thinking, "Fuck, I've done the right thing here," when you're training with these first teamers.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that at that stage was to do with Glenn Roeder. So I remember when I first trained with the first team, I was already in the club ready to be sub for the reserves.
Sure.
At the training ground.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I was in the canteen and Glenn came in and said, "You train with the first team." And then you get a few of the boys saying, "Make sure you kick him," and stuff like that. But it was great. I think I trained with the first team, and I think I played right back. I was right back in a game and whatever, and got some good and bad feedback from Harry at the time. I think I didn't cross the ball, and there was no one there. So, and I was like, there was no one there for me and whatever. And he's like, "Just put it in the box." So straight away you learn. After Shaka took a shine to me as well. And then we become quite tight from there. And so I didn't feel phased by it. It was I'm the youngest of 4 boys, so
of course, with your brothers as well, innit? You can't really.
I've been around that environment, such a long time from a kid, and then that's where Glenn comes in, because Glenn was at Watford, and I was always around my brother's first team dressing room, training ground, and he was always there, so the link was there. That's probably why he picked me. So lucky he was there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's there is always a percentage there with luck, and then it's a set of hard work as well, isn't it? There's lots of people, but as you said, you're in the right place at the right time, and obviously, then obviously, we went out on loan a couple of times, and then obviously the 04-05 season came along, which is what guaranteed most people remember you for, because obviously, you weren't in the team. We had Christian, and we had Malky, a couple of injuries. And then that back end of the season, you come in and you and Anton are like that, and then undefeated all the way, all the way from. Firstly, it must have been because obviously with Christian and with Malky, and obviously being out on loan a couple of times, you must have thought, am I going to get in the? what's going to happen? Because you had these two, stalwarts really, Malky Mackay and Christian Daly, and then if in the space of a little while, that's it. You're in the first team for the rest of that season, the rest of that season from about sort of March time onwards, weren't it? Why did it click with Anton straight away? How did it? What? Because it's literally, he's like, considering like Anton had been playing, it was just like, right, okay, that's it, and we just didn't look back as a club from that last period onwards. It was just mental.
Yeah. I think how it works is the season before Pardew came in, and I was injured, so I had a big back operation. So the season we got relegated from the Premier League, I was meant to then start the season under Glenn, and we had a pre-season game, and I hurt my back and ended up having to have surgery. So there you go. So I've already lost out on starting the season, making my debut at 18, whatever. Then the manager changes, Pardew comes in, and Roger Cross was still at the club.
Yeah.
So Roger had said, look, Wardy, give him another year. He deserves, get over his injury. Otherwise, I was out of contract.
Yeah.
So Pards kept me involved. I travelled the first team. I was doing basically, I was an analyst at the game. So I'd be in the gantry, I'd be pressing corners, I'd be doing all sorts. And back then it's a bit different to now.
Yeah.
So I'm pressing buttons I'm not sure about, and just doing an analysis for the game.
Yeah.
Playoff final happens. I said to the manager, look, the Palace one.
Yeah.
I go to see the manager. I said, look, I wasn't in the squad, but I said, I want to travel. I want to be with the team. I feel like I will be involved in these games in the future.
Yeah.
So I want to gain experience now. I want to come. It's like, yeah, no problem. Get to the ground. I don't travel with the team, but I get to Cardiff and I'm halfway around the stadium. I'm nowhere near the team. So I thought, okay, well, that's a slight indication. Anyway,
Yeah.
Then the next season happens. Pre-season goes fine. I say fine. I got left out in a pre-season game, and it was a bit of a punishment. So he told me as well, and I went on loan. I went on loan to Peterborough.
Yeah,
didn't play a game. Basically, just trained. I was sub once. I was more a reserve player.
Sure.
Bobby Gould was there. Who looked after me well, though. He looked after me really well.
Yeah, Bobby, a nice guy.
Yeah, and then I came back, played Southend. That was my actual debut in the cup.
Yeah,
we won. I was sub. Me and Trent McClanahan were sub alternate games, basically. And then I went to Bristol Rovers in December time, guaranteed to play.
Yeah,
apparently. Sub every game.
Yeah,
I come on in midfield once or twice. That was about it. I go back in January, and then the manager says also, Torquay want you on loan. Teddy was at the club. I said, Teddy, like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I've just been on loan. It's not worked out. I feel good. I'm training well. I feel like I can do something. Same feelings I had before, but
sure.
When you're younger, it gets overlooked sometimes. I mean, we had a good squad, so it was like,
yeah.
I go and get games, see how the team does. Anyway, so Torquay come about. Teddy's like, well, tell him you don't want to go. So I went to see the manager. So I don't want to go. It's just, I don't want to go. I've been on loan a few times. It's not worked out. I don't want to go to Torquay.
Yeah.
He said, well, look, I don't expect you to be in the team within the next few weeks. I said, that's fine. I don't see myself going to Torquay. I don't want to go.
Sure.
Fast forward a few weeks, I'm in the team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it just proves how quickly it changes. Obviously, I gained good experience on the loans that didn't work. Still, I still was involved in games.
Sure.
But we had Reading away, and he didn't start me in a manager. He put me on the bench, and I think he come out after and said he regretted that. I think Dave Kitson had a bit of a good time against us.
Yeah.
And then I started on the Tuesday. He brought me on. up front with Teddy, just to get me some minutes on the pitch.
Yeah.
You don't realise at the time, but you know, it's just to help me out in their environment. And then I start Tuesday night Crew at home, and that was it.
That was it.
We drew 2-2. They got a late goal. I think we played Leicester 3 days later, so it wasn't like I had a game every Saturday. It was like Tuesday, Friday on that first week, and then I think the week after that was Wigan away.
Yeah,
I think so. We won 2-0. So, and then it was Burnley away. We stayed up, beat them 1-0, and then we're just on a roll.
Relentless, wasn't it?
Yeah, and going back to the Anton thing, I joined at 14. Anton was here. We played well together in the first team because we knew exactly how each other played. So it wasn't like I wasn't a new signing for him, and it was the other way around. Us, we knew each other inside out, and we knew each other's strengths and weaknesses, and there was no settling in period. I think previous times that in terms of schoolboys, we didn't always play together. I was either playing up or he was playing up or whatever. And I think before we gelled in the first team, I think he had a slight tough period in the first team. He played at right back, which is not his position, and things like that. And the club as a whole had a bit of a sticky period, and we were expected to be in the top 6. So I didn't feel any different. I knew the team, I knew the squad. I've been around it for a long time.
Of course.
Felt like I deserved to be in the team. And I didn't think anything more of it than going to play football and winning games. And we done that. And the squad was really tight, really tight. And I think that it's easy to say now, but it's probably something the team needed. Me and Anton were a little bit of I don't know, just a little bit of oomph we needed just to
push. No, I get that. Yeah.
At that time where, you know, it was we either break into the top 6 or we fade away. So football's about timing. And the time was right, and thankfully it went well.
It was, and as we said, you know, we went on this crazy unbeaten run all the way up, including all the playoff semi-finals. And then we get back to Cardiff, and as you said, you were last year, 12 months before, you were in Cardiff, around the other side of the stand, you know, and then this one you're like walking out. Now, as a player, what's it like for a playoff? Because obviously a playoff final, you know, for a fan, it's like 90 minutes, and then we're in the Premier League. For a club, you know, from a operations perspective, you know, it's 150, 200 million pound game. Really, that's what they sort of sit down as. Yeah. What about the player? What about you as a player, man? What's it like? Or just another game?
Just another game. I think what we learned from the year before is it is another game.
Yeah.
But the year before we wore suits. We done. I was modelling for M&S. We did.
Yeah, you did. We did the old video as well.
So, you know, and then we had a meeting. It was like it's just another game. We wear tracksuits. We'll turn up and we play the game, and hopefully we win, obviously. But it was just we treat it the same because the year before it probably got built up a bit too much. Not saying that's why the boys lost, but it's just too much noise. You don't need to really carry into a big game, and so we just treated it like another one. We turned up. We got to Cardiff. Normal stuff. We had dinner together. The manager said, "If you want a glass of wine, that's fine." And it was just for me, just another night at the hotel preparing. Family the night before work. I didn't sleep that well because I was too excited. It was just the way it was. We watched the League One playoff the day before, whatever, and you just think we're there tomorrow, Millennium Stadium. Woke up in the morning. You probably see it on Bobby's documentary. I had breakfast with Bobby. We talk. He takes the piss, you know, takes the mick out of me. And
in general, isn't it?
Yeah, it was fine. It was another breakfast. We get ready for the game, and the manager put on the coach. He put on a video. I can't remember what it's from now. but basically an inspirational video about winning.
Doesn't surprise me, Pards. Yeah,
And it was, for me, I'm watching it. I just wanted to get off the bus straight on the pitch. That's, no warm up, nothing more. And just enjoyed the occasion. Loved the fans, things like that. Big crowds. It's just another game. It doesn't bother me. It was, like I said before, I always felt that I'd be in these big moments.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a part of these big moments. And so I built myself up. I've worked hard to get to that stage. And, before we went out, the manager said, just make sure you don't do any Cruyffs on the edge of the box. That was about it. Because, he knew that it just be, I played a normal game and, we weren't favourites.
No.
I don't think.
No. I mean, yeah, it was obviously.
Strong.
They were strong, weren't they, Preston? They were strong. And I think the first time we went in, it was almost a complete reversal, wasn't it? Like Crystal Palace were like us the following season, in that we were, we were and it's always the way in the Pro, isn't it? The informed team tends to carry on, and
we snuck in, didn't we? So we snuck in last day, and then obviously the game went to plan. Could have been a couple more, could have been more comfortable, but it was just perfect in terms of how it went. And now looking back, 16 years nearly,
crazy, isn't
it? Very proud to be a part of club's history and what we achieved.
Yeah, definitely. And as you said, we got there, and as I said, I did warn you. We had we had Jim put his picture of it. A nice little bar. Is it a bit of Moe looks like and things like that?
This is actually from the semi-final of the FA Cup. Aston Villa ground, and we just beat Middlesbrough.
You had
1-0 on score to get into the final, and I weren't even sub.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that because it's like,
if Jimmy was, I think he was. He might. I think Shaka played, but I weren't even sub. But I'm not even sure Ginger was. But we were just, we just got into the FA Cup final. We were, Alex Dyers at the front.
Yeah.
And we were enjoying the occasion, and we had a few drinks then, and we had a few drinks on the way back down. I think we had the PFA awards that night as well.
Oh Christ!
It was a Sunday, and then 3 days later we had Liverpool at home. So I end up starting. So it's fine.
And obviously with that, obviously as you said, you went up, and obviously playing in the Premier League is obviously every kid's dream, and you managed to play in the Premier League, which is fantastic. And as you said, that Liverpool game, the home game, obviously you played a few games that season, weren't it? Only a couple. So obviously you said Ginge and Gabadon came in. As a young kid, when you obviously the team's gone up, and Pards went in and bought loads of obviously Ginge and Gabs and stuff like that. They're your position. Do you see them as I thought it was going to, just not just at West Ham, but obviously across your career, when someone comes in and your position is they've taken a new person in?
I think it's as you get older, it's natural for managers to bring in 6, 7, 8 players. Every club I've been at, it's happened. With this one, obviously, I just played the back end of the season, helped the club, help the team, as long as they're helping me get back into the Premier League. So not job done, but one bit done. And then we come back for pre-season, still fit from not having a long summer. And the manager said to me and Anton, the shirts were ours for the first game.
Yeah.
Now that changed, because when it came to the week of the first game, or the day before, maybe even, he wasn't going to start me. It was Gabs and Anton, which was hard to take, because pre-season, nothing. I wasn't crap. It was just he'd probably already planned this, and that's how managers plan. They plan for different games, and that's fine. Then it comes to the day of the game, and Thomas is ill, and I remember the management team come out of the office into the dressing room, and the fitness coach said, "I'm buzzing for you. Like, you deserve it." And he names the team, and he puts Christian right back.
Yeah.
But the fitness coach had just come out of the office. He thought Gabs was playing right back, and it was me and Anton again.
Oh God.
So from the office to the name in the team, he changed his mind. Which again is fine. I mean, we ended up beating Blackburn, and the week after, and then not Sabin. So the frustration for me was the fact that I wasn't given a chance. Not the fact that he brought in the two.
Yeah.
Not a problem with bringing in Gabs and Ginge, because also before he brought them two in, he wanted to sign my brother.
Yeah.
And I remember we'd just done the parade. Manager said, "Ward, I want to speak to your brother." So I went, "Okay, you want to play free at the back?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's competition. I want to, blah, blah." So again, I didn't know, but my brother he'd known this for a month or whatever before and stuff. So he didn't want to tell me, but he'd agreed to go to Palace, and he didn't want to really join West Ham and take my place and put me out the team, blah blah. But it didn't matter in the end, because he signed Gabs and Ginge, and ended up doing it. But from then, I think momentum's such a big thing in football, and I've been a part of teams that have had momentum, gained momentum, and maintained it. And we certainly done that as a club, and these boys played out their skins. So I can't complain about that. It's just probably the only, not even a problem. It's just, I felt like I did deserve the chance to at least prove a little bit more or play more games,
of course.
But when a team's in form, it's hard to change.
Yeah, that's the trouble. And obviously it was such an unusual time, because obviously we'd gone back up and stuff like that. And as you said, with Pards, and I can totally see that. I can totally see how, it's sort of, they're conflicting, isn't it? You're like, that you deserve a chance, and then Pards is like, yeah. But we sort of we get that with Pards though. I've interviewed a lot of people around that time with Alan, and he's his own person, isn't he, Mr. Pardew?
For sure. And listen, this is why he's a manager. And this is what managers are paid to do. They make decisions, hard decisions or not. Whether that was for him, I'm not sure. Don't know. But it worked. So one thing I can't argue about is that he made that decision and it worked for the team and the club. So I can't argue with that.
Yeah. That makes sense. But all in all, when you look back at your career retrospectively, and you look at your time at West Ham, obviously the fact that you're always going to be synonymous with that promotional season must be a big sort of little badge of honor. You know what I mean? Because you'll always be part of that team that got us back into the Premier League in a time which it was a turbulent before, was a bit turbulent. Off the Redknapp era was a bit turbulent. Pards era gave us some solidity for a period of time, and it was a really important time in modern West Ham history, I think. And that's why I was really keen to get you on, because I just thought, we've had Anton, but I think you and Anton, you two together solidified that comeback for West Ham. And I was talking to some guys. I've got Elliot tomorrow. And he's like, "Oh, do you know what? He was so fucking hard done by that boy." I felt some of the old boys. They're like, and I think everyone knew that because of the effort you made and that sort of that central partnership, which was key to us getting promoted. We thought we were. We definitely all thought you were hard done by, man. That's for sure. Right. So obviously it's called My Hammers 11, the show. So the idea is everyone we get on the channel gives their 11. So basically, if you had to pick an 11 of the players you were around, you're playing with, not even just the first team, but obviously reserve teams and training. Obviously you play with some great players, from the age of 15 really onwards. You can pick any of them. Who would you pick basically? And you can pick whatever formation you want, doesn't matter. I'm getting a bit soft in my old age, but it's that's what we try and do. It's quite fun. Everyone loves it, and as I said, everyone we've had, apart from, and I'm thinking about your era, apart from Nigel.
Yeah.
He didn't pick one, but yeah, that's Nigel. Yeah, exactly right. Let's go. Let's start in goal. So who will be in goal for the Ward West Ham 11?
I mean, I loved Shaka. He was such a good goalie, great guy. We got on so well. But I can't have two goalies, so it's going to have to be Jimmy.
Oh, you have to put Jimmy.
Because we were roommates.
Was it?
Thick as thieves. And also we got in the team roughly the same time.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
So, he'd come in that season thinking he was probably going to be number one, and it didn't work out until roughly I got in the team. So we had a great relationship. So it was, I'd have to go with him. He had a book, sizes and everything, and he's definitely right. He wasn't shy to come for crosses, and great shot stopper, and I'd go for him because of that period.
And famously, obviously, the playoff final, wasn't it, as well? When he gets studied, and then poor Stephen comes on. It's like everyone's like,
yeah. I mean, I told Jimmy, stay on your line. You know what I mean? Let us do it. Let us do it. And then Steve comes on. They had a free kick, heart in your mouth moment.
Oh, it was.
And, he dives on the ball, and we still had probably another 20 minutes extra time because of Jimmy. So there's been some great goalies over the years. Jamo was there, Craig Forrest was there, obviously Bywater.
Yeah,
loads of lads, but
Jimmy's got it.
With Jimmy, yeah.
Good old Jimmy, yeah. Friend of the channel. Anyway, that's good. He'll like that. Right, okay. Let's go into defence, and also you can pick yourself out. Get those appearances back up. Yeah. You're more than welcome to.
I have to be in the team. Bars can put me in it, and I'll have to put myself back in. So
yeah,
I'll go with Chris Powell, left back. Or left. How am I going to go right? Yeah, left back, Chris Powell.
Chris Powell, that's a great shout.
Again, he was, what am I now? 36, 50. Yeah, he was 34 in the playoff final. So he came in the team again. I think he came in January. We got in the team and played together. So I played next to him, and I think there's only one time I saw him got beat 1v1, and that was Leeds away against Aaron Lennon, which is not a shame.
No.
And he was incredible 1v1 defender, incredible, and helped me a lot. A great experience next to me. We walked out together in the playoff final, and I turned to my left or right. I think Bobby was on one side, Pauli on the other. National anthem, and he's crying because he thinks it's his last big game. He's going to be involved in. But no, we got him England caps after that, so he was he won the last big game.
He cried for you, idiot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Pauli has to be there. He's still someone I speak to regularly. So yeah, he was a great guy to come next to me.
Top bloke, he was, Chris Powell. Okay, well, Pally left back. Who's gonna whatever formation we'll do? Who's gonna be next, Anil?
Yeah, I'll put myself in. It's easily done. I'll go in Anton just for the period of this. This is the kind of team I was in. So Anton, obviously, I'd known since I was 14, and we grew and grew together. The more we played. And I think probably the best spell we had together was the first team. It wasn't youth team. It probably wasn't even the reserves, because one game I played left back, he played right back. Ipswich away, because we had like Brini and stuff like that playing. So,
God, there.
So there's a lot of players, we've learned from a lot of good defense. But we definitely came good when we needed to.
Yeah, you vibe. Yeah, definitely. You and Anton, nice. Right back. Who's going to be on the other side then of Power? Right back.
Glenn Johnson.
Glenn Johnson. Good old Glenn.
He again. So when I joined the club, he was there. He was unbelievable athlete. Totally dictated training all the time. Totally dictated it. Just because of his energy, his quality.
Yeah.
And the season he left, the season he got in the team, we started centre back together, Arsenal away in the youth team. And then he just goes strength to strength, gets in the first team, and all of a sudden he's a Chelsea player, full international, and no surprise at all. He was just technically very good, and a modern day fullback. And he had everything.
Yeah, too right. Yeah, exactly. If anything, a little bit before his time, I'd say. Obviously, now he'd be shooting. He'd be
This is the thing. So he was probably the start of it. He was definitely ahead of the game in terms of how he played. He was so attacking. He could have played anywhere really, but coming from that deep position, he definitely get the team out of the pitch and scored some good goals. So
sure. All right, we'll put Glenn in. There we go. All right, that's that's your defence sorted, right? Okay. Midfield. Let's move into midfield then, Elliot. Who are we gonna have, man?
So this one just didn't play with him in the first team, but we ended up running partners in pre-season. Then we played a lot of reserve games together. But Rob Lee
for a
short period, and he was it's a strange one for me. When he was in the first team, I don't think they lost when he played, but I just don't think the manager took to him so well for some reason. But he was incredible on the ball, and you could tell he was the top player before he joined West Ham. Technically so good, he could score really good goals, and just a really clever player.
Definitely.
Again, you learn from his experiences.
Of course.
So I'd have to put him in alongside Hayden Mullins. I'm going with quite a technical midfield. This is the team I want to be in. Very technical.
But also, I mean, it's funny actually because like we interviewed loads of different players from different eras, and every era has a Hayden Mullins.
Yeah,
it's something I've realised because actually Hayden rarely gets picked by people. Rarely gets picked, but you, Anton, Chadders, anyone is in that era has picked Hayden Mullins in their team because of what he does. Same as sort of the mid-90s, Keano, Martin Allen, all picked Pete Butler. In the 80s, it's Jeff Pike. Now it's so it's that sort of he was integral. That's the whole thing around that sort of FA Cup run. Yeah, they had that fight and Louis Garcia. They both got. It was more of an fucker for us that Hayden Mullins would have played than fucking Garcia because he was so integral.
I think you're right, but I mean, on the flip side of that, Cole Fletcher started, and I thought he was man of the match for me. He was brilliant in the FA Cup final, and but for me, Hayden was just some of the best players of teams I played against. You got all the best players around them, but you've got your James Milners, you've got your Gareth Barrys, you've got Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
Without them players, the better technical players who win you the games, they can't do their job as well.
Yeah.
You got all them players putting out fires, keeping it simple. So for me, Hayden was just perfect, and he got better and better as the team did as well.
Of course.
So he'd have to go there. I'm going to go with Yossi Benayoun on. Where am I going to put him? Trying to think of players now. Yossi's going to go on the right.
Yeah.
Great player, great guy, unbelievable guy. He came to the club, £5 million, and we were like, "Who's this guy?" Like, he was.
I mean, he looks like it's a bag of bones, isn't he? He looks like a bag of bones.
He is a bag of bones. He weren't great in training.
Yeah.
Pre-season, we were like, just spent £5 million on him. He's, he's not good enough.
Yeah.
And then the game started, and he was just out of this world. It was like, yeah, it's time now for me to shine.
Yeah.
And he just grew and grew and grew. Became such an important player in the team. And it was that bit of flair that the team probably needed. If Teddy didn't play, dropping in those holes or whatever, Yossi would just drift a lot around the pitch, and he become a big player, and obviously went on to play some bigger clubs and made some good money for the club. But again, great guy, and very, very good player. Very good player.
Yeah, he was. All right, Yoshi's in. Okay.
All right. Oh, I don't know if I go with him lopsided. I might have to go 3 strikers instead. Yossi on behind. Bobby, big player for the team that I was in, and then moving forward, he was just a funny guy, man. He just used to crack me up every time, and every time I walked in a room, he'd just batter the sides of my head. Again, someone who could score great goals with his right and left in training.
Yeah.
Banter was just through the roof, and again, wasn't favoured until that late run in the team, and scored them very, very important goals. And then they started to really value him as a player. And again, he got better and better in the Premier League, and he was just a good guy. And he's just turned 40. I didn't realise at the time how young our squad was.
Yeah.
I was a youngster, so I just thought, I'm the young one. Me and Anton are the young ones, along with Chris Cohen and Mark Noble. We were the young ones, but actually Bobby was 24, probably Marlon as well. Hayden was 25, maybe. Fletch, all these players were young. Nigel. So as a squad, we were young, but Bobby was just a natural goal scorer, and really important for us.
Yeah. And I mean, everywhere he's gone, he's scored, isn't he? I mean, I was talking to someone the other day about him, and he was saying that obviously he scored the goal, the Preston goal. He scored for QPR in the playoffs as well. So he's his goals to pounds ratio. He's got a £300 million probably. He's scored. Yeah, it's mental. Yeah. He's mental. But he's top lad. And as you said, it was a really young team, and that's why I think it was great that you had these sort of elder statesmen like Teddy's and things like that, and Rob and people like that, just to sort of give a bit of maturity to the team at times.
Yeah, I think it just helped us. I mean, and also the age didn't actually come into it. I think that's probably why we didn't realise we were just a good group of lads who trained hard together, played hard together, and celebrated together. We've definitely done that, and I mean that definitely helped us move forward. So yeah, Bobby was one of the main men towards the end of the season for that. It was great.
Definitely.
I'll go with I didn't actually play first team with him, but more reserves and youth teams. Jermaine Defoe, just a natural. I say Bobby was naturally bow-footed.
Yeah,
but Jermaine's a proper natural finisher. Scores all types of goals. I end up playing a youth game with him. I'll get thrown up front, and then it was like Crouch and Defoe at one point, and he was an incredible finisher, and he's still going. He's still scoring goals. He'll never lose that touch. It's and what he's done for England as well. He's scored so many goals in big tournaments. He's just a player that. For West Ham, Ian Wright came later on in his career, but it was the closest to Ian Wright you probably get.
Good shout, great shout, yeah.
You don't probably get them anymore. So for me, he was just a really good goal scorer who just you knew as soon as we signed him and Leon Britton, you just knew they were going to be great players.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, the whole Defoe, that sort of striker, fox in the box, predatory striker, you don't get that in the game anymore now.
Not
They're all
quite, no.
forwards now, innit? It's like, even like Danny Ings used to be a bit like that, but now he's more of a forward now. And yeah, there's still something to say about Simon Germain. He said that's why he can get. That's probably why he's still banging him in for Rangers, because because he's so unique now.
Very sharp as well.
Yeah.
Very sharp. So he's just what he's done in the game is just testament to him. He's
definitely
proven his worth, and like I say, he's still scoring important goals and probably going to win the league this year. So
no doubt. Yeah,
that'll be his first one, maybe. I think top of my head.
Yeah, could be
First of everything, and at the age of 38, maybe easy.
I think 38. Yeah, so Steven Gerrard. See, he always doesn't matter whether he scores in the 2006 FA Cup final or whether he's manager of Rangers. He always comes up in conversation, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's about to come off the cramp, and then he pulls out that worldie. So anyway, less
don't talk about that anymore.
Nah, he's
right. So we got Bob, we got Z. There's one more spot, I think.
Oh man. So I'm torn. I might have to go to a 4-3-3 or 4 diamond. I might have to do 4 diamond 2. There's my top 2. I think, or I'll go Teddy, but then I've got Yossi. Yeah, I'll go Teddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because of the influence in that season.
Yeah.
In that season, for me personally,
Of course.
He's someone I did go to talk to about not going on loan.
Yeah.
About proving my worth.
Yeah.
I believed in myself. He backed me to go tell the manager in the right.
And for that, to have someone like Teddy's, like with the career he's had, to say, to backing you up, that must have thought, right, I'm not an idiot here. This, for him to say it, I respect this man, respect his opinion. He must have sort of said, okay, well, I'm all right. I can go and talk to Pards and tell him now. So
yeah, I think it was. I knew the answer.
Yeah, of course.
Just sometimes you need that little bit of reassurance. Probably, I think someone in the squad or whatever, and Don Hutchinson, it's another one. He was from a young age.
Great shout.
We were injured together.
Mm.
He done his knee, I done my back. So we spent so much time in rehabbing together. So he could have been an extra midfielder instead of Teddy. But so I had these players to bounce off. Don was big in terms of when I was in the team. He made sure the manager knew my worth as well.
Yeah.
The fact that he had 2 20-year-olds in the heart of defence, doesn't really happen, especially late on in that season, getting to where we were. And I think we played Sunderland and there was murmurings of maybe one of us shouldn't play, but the manager backed us and it worked. But so Don was massive for me. Still speak to him. But like I said, Teddy, at the grand age of 38, 39, whatever he was, a great player, always found space in training and games, in the Premier League, still scoring goals. And he didn't just do it on the pitch, he done it in the gym. So again, you see someone who's won everything, working that hard still, because he loves football. That's in his DNA, that's his mentality. So you learn a lot from that. And for me, he definitely helped me then. He helped with the season after, even when I went on loan or ended up being bought by Coventry. So the manager tells me, look, I want £1 million for you. So I'm like, okay, cool. I tell Teddy, he's like, whoa, that's a lot of money. Because it was. Back then, it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's like, you've only just gotten in the team, but you've haven't played that many games.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, he's told me £1 million I can go. It's so he was always honest. So that's great, and I knew, you know, £1 million. Well, wow, okay, and ended up Coventry paid it. Hindsight, probably going back to before, I would have stayed, should have stayed.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I thought I could have, especially nowadays with younger players. I think it's easier to stick around.
Yep.
Play your 23s, whatever. So I could have stuck around 6 months, probably to a year, before moving on, but I'd played and then not played, gone on loan again, and I wanted to play.
Yeah.
So, you know, Teddy helped me with that, and again, he was just an incredible player for the team, and such an important squad player in the end as well. And yeah, just funny enough, I'd just been playing not long ago with his son, so I played with his, you know, Teddy 16 years ago, and then I'm playing with his boy in the same team, which is mental for me. So it's yeah, he was a great player. Had a great career and a good influence on me.
Top man. Yeah, he does seem to come across as a, I think he was it's certain times, sort of certain sliding doors moments, and I think Teddy Sheringham signing for us at that time was the right signing. So at the moment, obviously, this will probably go out on Sunday. So hopefully I think we announced the signing of Jesse Lingard by then. And so I think that's going to, not say Teddy Sheringham, but, you know, sometimes the signing happens at a right time. And I think that Teddy was the right signing at the right time for the club. And his influence, I don't think it's downplayed a little bit, I think, because the influence he had on you, not just the fact that he was top goal scorer that season, despite being 30, 22 goals, like ridiculous like that, scoring in the Premier League, the influence he had on that team, which was a relatively young team, as you said, you know, just a little bit of someone to bounce ideas off. I think it was absolutely critical. But man, it's been a pleasure. I've taken more time than I promised I would, but anyway, I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, man. It's been lovely.
No, really brilliant. Appreciate it. Sorry it's taken so long. Anytime, it's been great, and hopefully the club get Jesse Lingard in, and they continue to carry on the way they are. I hope so.
I hope so. For our sakes, more than our sanity, more than anything else. But obviously, thank you to everyone for watching or listening. If you've done, give it a like, give it a share, whatever. If you want, it's up to you, man. But anyway, for myself and from Elliot, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Come in your irons, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Much love. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.